Oh.
Well, they're setting up the Royal Flush Gang as apparently this is supposed to be like a worthy opponent, not just like, Superman or like, Black Adam, but the whole fucking Justice League. And that's ridiculous.
I like them, dude. But I agree, they're not great.
Like, I know them as like a Batman Beyond villain. They are a worthy opponent for one superhero, not for a whole fucking team. And we've wasted a whole arc on this fucking like B team supervillain people who are supposed to apparently be contenders with the Justice League now. And then like you had the usual stuff where like, well, yeah, like you had like the Bendezian dialogue, right? Where like 90% of this is just them like circle jerking each other in like a conversation,
Oh my gosh. I'm not reading it. I don't read anything.
Thank God for Ram V and his Justice League Dark backup.
Yeah, that's the only thing saving the book. So,
but legitimately, like one of the worst comics I've read in a long while.
Bendis, man, he's just lost it. He used to have it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, he's responsible for some of the best stories ever made.
And he lost it. Sorry, Bendis. Them's the facts. Well, let's do this thing. Let's do the damn. Let me find an intro. Let's do this one. This one's funny. Talking about all the new books coming out this week. It's a pretty good week, too. Pretty damn good.
I'm surrounded by
that's good to hear. Well, see, now I'm offended because I'm the only one here.
That's right. I know.
So, like,
oh, wow.
I'm apparently multiple assholes to you.
I know I'm sick of winter. It ain't even got cold here. Greetings, geeks. Welcome back. It's another episode of This Geek in Comics, Outright Geekery's comic book shit talk show.
Shit talk show.
It's Gomer and Taylor. We're here for another previews show, talking about all the new books coming out this week. If you see something, say something. If you're hanging out watching and you want us to talk about a book that we go over because of the delay, we'll come back and at least mention something. We'll know something about the book, even if we're not reading it. Like this one. We always start at DC because DC's comes out earlier on the 1st, technically tonight at midnight. I'm not reading this. The City of the Order.
Nor am I, but that's a pretty cool concept for a villain, I guess.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Yeah. Disgusting. It's got some Professor Pig in there. The worst Batman villain ever. I mean,
you've got terrible. Like a striking and creepy villain when like Professor Pig is like the normal looking one.
He looks fine. But yeah, Batman's been solid since the takeover.
Yeah, this has been fun. Yeah.
New villain, of course, always. But Abyss is the new villain.
Yeah, but Lex Luthor has been like the most fun part of this book for the last couple of issues.
I like the whole Batman Inc. and him, sort of moving in to take over. It makes sense. It's a fun idea, man.
That's a good way to capitalize on an idea that I don't think they've done much with for the last like 5 or 6 years now.
Yeah. Here's my pick from over here at DC. Dark Knight of Steel #4, hitting one of the midway marks on this thing. This looks like it's going to be a little bit of a prequel, flashing back a little bit to tell some of the story. But yeah, basically this is Game of Thrones with DC characters, written by Tom Taylor, and it's wonderful. It's been
written by Tom Taylor is all you need to know that it's going to be pretty good,
I don't know. The Dark Ages is not as good.
Oh, really? You've been so high on that book.
No, it's good. But if I'm relatively speaking, this has got a lot more depth to it, a lot more, cooler things they're doing with the characters than...
Yeah.
Dark Ages feels more like a summer blockbuster kind of event. They're just showing you cool things,
He really is running with the whole, like, Game of Thrones thing, not just in the medieval setting, but also, the intrigue,
for sure.
The games of politics. And that's a fun cover.
That was a very cool cover. Very fun cover. All right, moving on. Detective Comics. I keep hearing great things about this run, but it's been overpriced and over-released, and they just gave me too much. And
If I had it to do over, I probably would have made this the Batman book I was reading instead of Tinian's Batman. But yeah, it's too late for me to jump in
Live
now.
and learn, yeah. Cool Lee Bermejo cover with a prison, riot going on. Very fun. We got Harley in the back.
Yeah,
it's a cool cover. Joker puzzle box. I mean, that's just is what it is. Justice League Incarnate, same thing. Just it is what it is. We get a milestone compendium. That's pretty fun. Collecting some of the favorites here.
Well, yeah, probably got decades to pull from, I imagine, yeah.
Oh, for sure. This is one of the reasons, they wanted to bring Milestone back because they knew they could reprint all this shit and create some buzz around screen adaptations and stuff like that. So good on them. Another big release from DC is the debut of Monkey Prince #1. It's a 12-issue. They don't even say maxi series anymore. I'm old school. Miniseries. Gene Luen Yang. Everything he writes is at least entertaining, man. It's nothing. I can't say that he's written anything that I'm like, oh my god, that's spectacular. Even though he is an award-winning comic book writer.
I mean, yeah, he's written some really good stuff that I've read. Like Boxers and Saints was really good, and American Born Chinese was really good.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, like you're saying though, the floor for Gene Luen Yang is pretty high. Like his worst stuff is still pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, he created this all-new Superman that was wonderful. He had great runs on Shang-Chi. I think those are still ongoing, his runs with Shang-Chi.
It's an odd thing where, like, it's the same story, but they keep, like, renumbering it every few months.
Yeah. But I'm hoping this is a little bit more unique than Shang-Chi. It's definitely a unique character. All for the Lunar New Year.
In a sense,
it's tomorrow.
It's Sun Wukong,
Yeah.
So, it's the character from Journey to the West, which, if you don't know your literary origins, this is basically what Dragon Ball was originally based off of.
Sure.
Although I got way the hell away from that for a while.
I'm hoping he's got a little bit more depth than that. And not to say that there's not depth, but really, Dragon Ball hinges itself on the big fights and the animation, and you can't do that in a comic. You have to.
Sure.
You gotta have some story.
Well, the Monkey King is more than just the inspiration
sure.
of Dragon Ball. It's an inspiration for a lot of shit. It's like one of those like cornerstone Eastern books of mythology,
Yeah. And the release coinciding with Lunar New Year. I don't know what you say. Is there something you say for Happy Lunar New Year? I guess.
I do not know.
I don't know either. One Star Squadron, a favorite around here. Mark Russell, Steve Lieber. Great book.
This has been, it's Mark Russell. It has been a Mark Russell book, which is to say, like, insightful, thought-provoking, and, very good.
And funny.
Very, yeah.
And funny as hell. I mean, it's fun. There's been 2 issues. The first one, it'll make you laugh and think. The second one, dude, it'll make you laugh and cry. There's emotional shit going on.
I think I mentioned before, but there was a panel in the last issue of this. It was the most heartbreaking thing I've seen in a while,
Yeah. So, yeah, great comic booking going over there on a weird book, One Star Squadron. I like that DC just says, all right, yeah, we'll give you your own little corner of the DC universe.
Yeah, just go nuts. I'm surprised they didn't throw the black label on this, but I'm grateful they didn't. I don't have to pay as much for it.
Doesn't feel like a black label
it's
book,
not
though,
only because then it would be very clearly not in continuity, which this book clearly is not, but you wouldn't necessarily know that until you started reading it.
If they wanted to pull a little bit from this at some point, it's a lot easier than that. But in terms of black label feels more like, I don't know, black label has never been this relevant.
I suppose,
societally and mirroring that sort of shit.
I would argue that a book Harleen had a lot of cool things to say. That was a good one, but
it was good.
I just meant that, that seems like a thing and a tool in their toolkit to instantly show this is not continuity.
Sure. Sure. Yeah. But it's a great read. Represent gets a hardcover, very good book to pick up there, great coffee table book. Sandman Deluxe Edition, book number 5. Service Industry, I don't even think that's DC. I think that's somebody else.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad number 12. I thought this was only going to be a 12-issue series. I guess not. I have not been picking this up. I've read a Suicide Squad book in the last 2 years, so I wasn't going to pick up another one, unfortunately. Great cover here by John Boy Myers, though. Really having fun with the colors and the characters. Just very cool. And World of Krypton. I did not pick up issue number 2 of this. I picked up issue number 1, and it's like, man, this is just a story. I don't care about what's going on at that point in time.
This is not a corner of the DC universe that I'm in any sort of rush to explore, you know?
Yeah.
I'm fine with it just being like, you know, part of Superman's background. We don't need to like delve into what Krypton was like.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Andy, what's up? How's it going? Thanks for coming by. But I'm really a big fan of Michael Avon Oeming. You know, he's one of my favorites for a long time. Robert Venditti is no slouch, and I just wish they would be on something better than this. Even though that's a great Dave Johnson cover. It's a fun cover.
Oh yeah, that's real pretty. Yeah,
that is cool.
I like the S and the stars there. It's cool.
Yeah, really subtle too. All right, that's it for DC. 1-Star Squadron for sure, and then shit, I may have to leave it open so I can go back and double check. Oh yeah, Monkey Prince.
I'll probably check out Monkey Prince.
Me for sure.
For sure, 1-Star Squadron. Oh, and for sure, Dark Knight of Steel. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, now everybody else, these books come out on the 2nd this Wednesday. A Thing Called Truth. It's ongoing. It's 1 issue to go now, I guess. I thought it was originally an ongoing. Anyway, whatever. First issue was pretty good. I dropped off of it. Ant number 2, again, not a fan of this old school, like 90s characters. You know, it's an Eric Larson.
I mean, honestly, it looks more Silver Age.
Well, I mean, it's throwback, sure.
Yeah.
But just not my cup of tea, you know. Here's a book, crossover number 11. All right. Even the solicit. Oh, and then there's Removed by the Kirkman Estate, right? If you don't know what crossover is when a portal opens in the real world and comic book characters start dropping out of it. And there's a big hubbub, and this is years later, and there's all kinds of different characters from different comics that show up in this book. They don't call the Marvel and DC characters out by name, but you can definitely tell it's them. But a lot of the Image characters, it's straight up them. You know what I mean? And I've read this. It's a huge reveal. Jaws are going to drop. People are definitely going to be talking about who shows up on the last page of this book. I'm just saying. No guesses, no spoilers.
All right. I was about to make a guess, so I'm glad you said
do not guess, because then I'll give it away, and I don't want to spoil anything. I will tell you
after
the show. I'll tell you after, for sure.
Sounds good.
Echo Lands, probably the best art you're going to find this week. I don't care where we're at. J.H. Williams just kills it with this book, and the design work, it's just wonderful, dude.
I mean, J.H. Williams III could draw like a blade of grass, like out on his lawn, and it would be the most riveting, most thought-provoking, most like mind-tripping blade of grass you've ever seen, you know?
Yeah. They're also redoing or reprinting number 5 with raw cuts with 2 different covers. So that's really nice. You know, I guess raw cut, they're not colored. I don't know. That
beats me. I have no idea what they mean by raw cut.
Yeah. Still, though, that just shows you how cool this book is. And the story is just okay, really. It's that art and the design that you go for. Geiger 80 page. Jeff Johns, Gary Frank's definitely in on this, but because those are the 2 guys who, you know, created this book. But Jay Farber, Sterling Gates, Pornsack, I can never pronounce his last name, Peter Schultz, Peter J. Tomasi, and then Brian Hitch, Galloway. I mean, it's a great team right here, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's
getting in on this giant 8-page or $8, 80-page giant book that's spinning out of like this one arc that was just okay. I thought it was just all right, you know?
Well, I mean, they're probably trying to like, you know, build up momentum for this to get like picked up by a network or something.
I'm sure that's what it is.
But yeah, I mean, it's I haven't read it yet, but I'm hearing good things from David, and I guess it's at least okay from your perspective. So
yeah, it's okay, but it should be better for the 2 names that are associated with it, I believe.
Well, hype backlash can always be a bitch.
But I think the big deal here is you get a preview of John's and Frank's new series, Junkyard Joe.
Is Junkyard Joe a character from Geiger?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know who that is, but I'm excited to see that preview. So, all right, I think that's about it. They do have Hellcop coming out. That's, you know, pretty rad book. Magic Order 2, New Masters. This actually looks pretty cool. It's Shobo and Shoff. These are West African creators doing their first book. It's like full of science fiction and adventure and vibrant Afrofuturism. I'm stoked. I want to check that out. It's got like an ancient artifact and superpowers and stuff. Yeah,
Well, that sounds fun.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to check this out. That looks fun. Newborn Chip Zdarsky's Hardboiled Crime. Noctera number 7 continues that. Scumbag number 12. Holy shit. Just letting you know again how amazing it is over here at Image, right? We get all these books and, Eric Larson, right? Crossover, Chip Zdarsky, Echo Lens, J.H. Williams, Geiger. We're getting Gary Frank and Jeff Johns. Magic Order. This is what's his name, dude? The Netflix dude now, Mark Millar.
Oh.
Right? Mark Millar and Stuart Immonen.
Stuart Immonen's no slouch, yeah.
Exactly. I'm just talking about the level of creativity, the folks we've got working over here at Image. It's just amazing. This is a Scott Snyder book.
Well, like all
Scumbag
the big,
is a Rick Remender book, and then there's a Kirkman book. I mean, and there's a Spawn. I mean, what?
I mean, we're used to all the big writers, all the big artists doing a stint at DC and Marvel. They also always do a stint at Image nowadays. It is truly a big three, but, at least in terms of the talent they're bringing to bear.
Oh, for sure. But man, this week, just in 1 week, that's big, dude. That's big. And it's like a special anniversary year for Image, like 25th anniversary or something.
Yeah, oh man, is it already that?
Cool. I know, you old bastard. How's it feel? Moving on to Dark Horse. You never will be. Black Hammer has a trade. A couple of them. They have a Visions and the issued or Series 5 of Black Hammer Reborn. And I think that's about it, man. They got a lot of trades, a lot of collected stuff.
Yeah, pretty thin week from Dark Horse, it looks like.
Yeah, they do have Manor Black, which is a Cullen Bunn horror book. So if you're into horror, those are always a win, Cullen Bunn. It's about the same from IDW. Not much when it comes to single issues.
Yeah, fitting it whole in one screen there.
Yeah. Bermuda was a great trade. For $18, you cannot go wrong. Pick this up. It was fantastic.
I'll probably take a look-see at that.
It was so good. Sea of Sorrows is a horror book, which is also not bad. We get Sonic, but we do get Mirror War. It does have, Mirror Universe Major Kira, who is the horniest character ever. Keep your Riker, keep your Kirk. She's the horniest character ever in Star Trek. Hands down. There's not even an argument.
Yeah, I mean, every series has at least one whoremonger, basically,
So that's going to be cool. And then TMNT Ongoing is a collected. Wonderful cover on that, by the way. That Raph cover, which I mean, I guess it's Raph. It might be.
I mean, it's either like OG coloring scheme or it's Raph,
Yeah, I think it's Raph. But then Transformers Grimlock wraps that series, which is basically been Conan with the Dinobot named Grimlock. It's been great.
I mean, where can you go wrong? That's just fun as hell.
It's really fun. All right, moving on to Marvel. Alien comes back. We do get a small preview here.
I forgot Marvel was doing this, honestly.
Yeah, that Predator lawsuit has also been settled. So look for them to resolicit their Predator book. I would say next month. They may not even resolicit. They may just put all the orders back in and say, this is what you're getting. So the art still looks great with this Salvador LaRocca. But yeah, I kind of fell off this book.
I mean, it's a good creative team. It's, probably a fun book, but just not something that, is up my alley,
Yeah. Amazing Spider-Man number 88. Going to be a big deal here. Zeb Wells is writing it, but this is the first official appearance of the Queen Goblin, who's a new character.
Man, I'm not even going to try to find this on the shelf. Then there's no way this is lasting until I get to the shop.
Oh no, you should call right now if you want a copy.
I mean, honestly, I'm not all that keen on this Beyond stuff anyway. I'm okay.
The last issue, 87, was not bad. It was Captain America and Black Cat taking Peter Parker through his retraining and stuff like that.
Oh, well, that's fun.
Yeah, it was fun. And I didn't read it, but the Comic Book Bullies reviewed the Black Cat MJ book, And Leroy said it was pretty good. It wasn't terrible.
I did not give that a second look, so yeah. I guess my bad.
Exactly. Tech On finishing up finally.
I hate that name.
It feels like it's been going on for way more than 6 issues. We do get this rad Momoko Spider-Man Tech On cover though.
That's really cool.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
I love the robot arms.
Yeah. Black Panther Legends, which is more like, other stories from, Black Panther's past. But we do have Daredevil, Woman Without Fear, number 2. Zdarsky, Rafael De La Torre.
So yeah, we should be getting some Elektra versus Kraven action on this one.
Yeah, that's exactly what we get right here. Some great art there. Some really fun stuff from De La Torre. Not a bad series. The first issue was solid, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to keep picking that up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm picking up most of the Devil's Reign stuff that Chip Zdarsky is himself writing. So yeah, that'll be part of that pickup.
Life Story. I have not been following this. It is Mark Russell, but I fell off after the first issue. I just did not like the pacing of it at all. Every issue is like a decade in the life of the Fantastic Four if things were happening in real time.
Okay, so this would be like the 2010s by this point, I guess.
Yeah, I think this is the 2000s.
Oh, so is this like Hickman era Fantastic Four?
I mean, cool. Yeah, I guess that's what they're going to be talking about here. I don't know, man. He sort of pulls from history, as all these books have. The Life Story books, even the Spider-Man one, pulled from the history of that decade to sort of tell that story. And it worked better for the Spider-Man one. It did not work well for the Fantastic Four. But here it is. Here's a big one for the Four. Reckoning War begins. I guarantee you we'll be talking about this one next week on the Sunday Night Show. Dan Slott, Carlos Magno, $5 for the extra big beginning to, I don't even want to call it event. I kind of want to call it sort of like a spring fling.
Yeah, it seems like it's basically like a trumped up version of the next story arc they were going to do anyway.
Yeah.
Which, let's be said, I have been reading Dan Slott's Fantastic Four run, and I have been enjoying it.
I know.
Don't understand why this is like getting its own like special title, but yeah, I mean, I'll check it out. Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure either. It is Reckoning War does have its own. Okay, whenever they do like something big at Marvel, especially when you order it at the comic shop, they usually get like initials behind them, so you can just say, okay, he wants everything that belongs to this event. And they did that because people were missing out on issues that tied into the events. This does have one of those. But as far as I know right now, it doesn't have any other tie-ins besides this.
I mean, maybe She-Hulk will tie into it because Jack of Hearts did show up at the end of her book.
Boom.
So, and she was in the last arc of the Fantastic Four.
But isn't this like a kill lock? What do they call them? Deathlock?
Deathlock? No, that's Jack of Hearts.
Oh, is that Jack of Hearts?
Yeah.
Okay. I see. Yeah. I see.
And then we got like OG Nick Fury back there.
I love that guy. The guy, the Watcher on the Wall, or whatever the hell they call him.
The Unseen.
The Unseen. Ooh, I see you. So yeah, and of course, just a shit ton of variants for that.
Yeah.
They're not even going to show them all. Hellions number 18. The last issue gets a second printing, very deservedly so. Khazar, Lord of the Savage Lands, wraps up with issue 5. I was not picking that up. Not a big fan. Here's another big book, probably the one I'm looking forward to the most, even though Marvel's got like 3 or 4 debuts this week. Victor LaValle and Leonard Kirk doing Sabretooth, man. I've been waiting on this it feels like forever. But yeah, I'm stoked. I'm stoked to see where they're going with this.
Yeah, back when they first announced this book, I think we assumed that we would see how he got out in Inferno, but we did not, in fact.
Oh, they didn't even mention him.
Yeah, not even once. But yeah, I guess we'll have to see how exactly he gets out of Solitary here.
Or if he does, maybe they're just going to be talking about him in Solitary.
Oh, well, maybe. I mean, I guess it could be anything, right? Who knows?
No shit, it really could.
But nowadays, all the X books are at least a solid maybe on all these, new series they debut.
Yeah, I'm definitely picking that up. And then we have another pretty interesting book. Joe Kelly, Gerardo Sandoval doing sort of a horror Spider-Man book.
This is a follow-up to Nonstop, right?
Yeah, I would say it's a follow-up, but it looks like it has nothing to do with what happened.
Well, They left off with him stranded on an island with
Oh,
Zemo.
well, he's on an island, and there's
Yeah.
Zemo.
Yeah, there you go. This is I don't know how he became feral. I don't remember that. I need to go back and read that. I can't remember if he got turned into like a hybrid thing here, but apparently he did.
Yeah, it looks really cool, like horror. I love
Yeah.
Gerardo Sandoval. He reminds me of Street Fighter artwork, dude. You know, he's got just this way about his characters and that's
Yeah, I
not a
can see that.
bag, you know.
No, I mean Street Fighter's got some really cool
It does.
artwork to it, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean
So,
I'll definitely check this out. I enjoy Nonstop, so
yeah. A lot of variants for that one as well. Shang-Chi number 8. We were, just talking about how awesome, Jin Lun Yang is, and
yeah,
here
this is
he is again.
consistently a solid read for sure.
Yeah. Spider-Woman number 19. A bunch of Star Wars. Crimson Reign number 2 of 5. We're getting it even further into that event.
I'm looking at all these Star Wars things. Did we get through War of the Bounty Hunters?
Yeah, War of the Bounty Hunters is finally over.
Oh, good
But
gravy.
now we're
Wow.
into 2 other events. We are into the Crimson Reign, which we just saw. Now we're getting into this Halcyon Legacy, which is a 5-issue miniseries about the Halcyon, the ship that caused all the problems. Right? It breaks up at warp speed and plows into a bunch of shit, and that's what. That's the main big thing in the High Republic. But then these High Republic books are supposed to tie into those at some point. Yeah.
High Republic has been just solid. Good enough for me to not drop,
Yeah, it's been solid, dude.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's
I
fun.
like it better than the other Star Wars stuff. The other Star Wars stuff just feels so exhausting.
Well, yeah, I mean
anymore. It's okay, I know where it's going.
That's true. And I certainly enjoy a good story about Luke, Han, and Leia, but
it's enough already.
It's good to go somewhere else, in the Star.
It's been a long time.
This is an era ripe for storytelling,
for sure.
You're always confined when you're telling stories about the original trilogy era because we know where it ends.
Yeah.
They're within a set of guardrails that they can't go past.
Yeah.
Whereas here, I don't know if any of these characters are going to make it. They could kill them all.
They don't. I want them to, get in trouble. I want the drama.
Yeah.
I want to. Yeah. The Thing number 4 or 6. I've heard good things about this book, but I have not been picking it up.
Nor I.
And of course, 10 Lives, X Lives of
Wolverine.
So
every
good.
week it'll either be this or deaths.
So excited. So great. And then Excellent, which is not technically an X book, but is kind of an X book. I'm not reading it.
I mean, it's being drawn by Mike Allred, so that's all.
Oh, it's good looking,
cool.
But no, I'm not a fan.
I'm probably not going to check it out, but if I could understand someone being like, "Oh, Mike Allred, I'll get it. I don't care what it's about."
Oh, for sure. Oh, definitely. And then of course the Simonsons back on X-Men Legends, revisiting the New Mutants. Just a legendary run that they had. So
yeah,
I mean, I love all chill Apocalypse. Just oh man, I'm pacing.
Yeah, so that's a good look for him.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like we were saying with Mike Allred, Walt Simonson,
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, take my money,
Yeah. So damn, a bunch of shit hitting from the House of Ideas. All right, moving on to Dynamite. They do have Hell Sonia number 2. A lot of fun variants for that, of course. Even a cosplay variant. And then we have the Red Sonja Valentine's Day special. They do this every year, and it's usually pretty good, especially with those hot covers, right? Everybody loves a hot cover. So there you go. Boom has Basilisk, Buckhead, and Buffy. The 3 Bs dropping from them. I'm not reading any of those books.
Nor I.
And then we have everybody else, which, again, it is not a lot this week. There were a couple of books last week worth mentioning. I did look through these, and I think I found 1 or 2. Let me see if I can find them real quick. But if you see something, say something. Goon, always a solid read.
The Goon is one of the most underappreciated series out there.
Oh, man, I love it. Eric Powell's just
good
magical
shit
with what he does with that book. Yeah, Legend and the Vanguard. That looks like just an off-kilter, superhero spin.
Yeah.
Primo's number 1. I've heard good things about this. This is AWA Upshot. Al Madrigal, Carlo Barry, Brian Reber. I know at least 2 of those names. So 2 Mayan brothers constructed a spacecraft that sent them hurtling to outer space and returned to Earth only to find their culture and civilization destroyed. One of their brothers vows revenge and seeks to decimate the planet. To prevent this, his sibling creates a contingency plan that activates the world's protectors, descendants of their own family. Sounds okay. AWA does pretty good shit, man. So I'm
I mean, that could be a fun premise.
Yeah, definitely going to give that a read. Plenty of variants for that. And Serial, number 10 of 10. This is Terry Moore's latest, and it's done now. It was fantastic. It was really good. It's no Motor Girl. It's no Echo. It's definitely not Strangers in Paradise. But if you're a fan of Terry Moore and that universe and that art and that, his approach, Serial is perfect. It's fantastic. So, but read Motor Girl. Motor Girl is awesome. Speed Republic. It's just like a racing thing, but it's a really off.
Is it like a Mad Max thing where like everyone's racing across the wasteland or something?
It's not really Mad Max. It's more.
I misjudged what that was going to be then.
Yeah. But it's Ryan Lindsley, Emmanuel Parascandola. To distract the 99% from their poor and empty lives, they were given the opportunity to compete in the grand race. And there you go. That's the. So yeah, that's about it. War Guard number 1 looks okay, but it's a very light week when it comes to the independent press. But that's a good damn thing given how big everybody else is. The big 3 this week, the big 3, just Marvel, DC, and Image. It's like $60. It's like
it's a lot, yeah. Week. I mean, we got a Tom Taylor book dropping from DC, and probably check out that Monkey Prince. And One Star Squadron's always a good read.
Yeah, I'll be getting all of those.
A lot of Image crap.
So much Image. Do not miss out on Crossover. Crossover is going to have a awesome reveal. And then Marvel, dude. It's X Lives.
Yep.
Sabretooth for sure. We getting a Sabretooth and a Wolverine book in the same week. Just shoot me now. That's awesome. And this cool Savage Spider-Man.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, dude, it is so many damn books this week. It's almost too much. And that Daredevil book, we still got like 2 events going on it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Also looking forward to this Reckoning War, whatever the hell that's supposed to be.
Oh my God, yes, there's like 3 events going on with Beyond.
Yeah.
And that's not counting the X events.
Oh my God. Well, like things like Beyond and Reckoning War seem more like,
they still add
glorified story arcs.
It's true.
That's true. That's fair enough. I mean, they've released like 40 of these Beyond issues now, right?
Yeah, it's a lot, dude. But awesome. Yeah, that's everything coming out this week. We're going to talk about all of those books next week on the Sunday Night Show. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Check out that Sunday Night Show. We do it here all the time on Sunday night, 7:00. Love to talk comics and news and reviews. Also, check out the Bullies. I got a chance to listen to their show this morning. Great episode for them. Eli seemed tired, but I get that. Everybody's tired. Winter is killing me. I want winter to be over. But yeah, check out the Bullies right here on this channel. Also go to outrightgeekery.com. We got a bunch of links, including all the links to the comic book bully stuff. Different social media, different merch, Patreon. I mean, you name it, we got links to it. But yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out. Most of all, thanks to that Joker for hanging out with this Joker.
Glad to do it.
I'll do this one. Thanks, man.
Oh, well, that's nice. I always get some Ted Lasso in.
We're gonna do it again next time.
Same geek time, same geek channel.
If you want to guess, go ahead with your guess. I won't tell you if you're right or wrong.
Okay, Rick Grimes.
Wrong.
I thought you said you wanted to say if I was right. You're just a shitty liar.